Alright, time to build the hospital. We got 7 of 150 build units done there. So I guess I'm going to leave them to it. I don't think there is anything else that the builders actually need to do outside of the hospital, so that's not bad. In other news, currently sitting on 35 adults, 7 students, and 6 children, so can't complain there. We have, what do we got? A child named Paulinette was born. Len Woodson has become a student, and a child named Herberto was born. All right. Not bad. A child named Alejandrea was born. I'm going to be honest, that's a good name. That is a good name. Let's get the physician in there, and let's get the builders done with their work. At this point, honestly, I feel like the only way to go, and the only sensible way to go, is to just get a shed load of laborers, honestly, because we are going to be facing a lot of deaths fairly soon. So a shed load of laborers and possibly an equal shed load of resources. Let's go ahead and clear a bunch of this space out, just so that we can stay on top of keeping this area, number 1, nice and neat. Number 2, nicely stocked with resources. So clear all of this. There we go. Abraham the farmer has died of old age. Gonna clear all of that out. And I think what we'll do is also go ahead and clear all of that space out as well. So that'll get us a lot of trees, a lot of logs, a lot of stone as well, which is going to be quite important. And it should get done fairly quickly because we are just going to have laborers. We are going to have nothing but laborers, so I'm also pretty sure my farmers will be working on that. Pamelin the fisherman died of old age. Fair enough. I do know that if we run into trouble, we can technically close the school and the 8 students will immediately become laborers, but I don't like the idea of doing that. It kind of defeats the purpose of the school, so we might have to stick with that. Orist is a laborer though, so we're all right on that particular front. Basically, what we need to do is combat the deaths with life, with birth, with existence, etc., etc. We need to make sure people are living and breeding and having kids and you know, going generation after generation. It's a weird game. It's weird. It's weird to talk about. But that's what we need to do. That's what this game is. It's about making sure that your town, your people continue to live, you know, generation after generation. So hopefully we can do that. Hopefully that's the thing we can manage. I think we are about to face our first sort of, I don't want to say death wave, but that's kind of what it is. It's sort of a death wave, and I think we are coming up on that. So hopefully we can manage it, and hopefully we can come out the other side of it. But I would also like to say that I think we should maybe look, I thought a child named Garrel, I don't know why I thought that's a Genji. Can I get this here? No. Can I get over here? I actually can't, really. That's a surprise. Okay. What if we were to do, what if the chapel goes there and a graveyard goes in front of it? We have the resources for this thing, so chapel there, graveyard or cemetery here? Needs 34 stone. I think we'll do that. It's not the nicest place for it, but I think we'll do that. We'll get the resources brought over at least, and we can go from there. So we'll get those brought over. We do have someone that's freezing. Where are they? It was one of you guys. I realize actually a lot of the people that are freezing, I mean, what is your job? You are a child. Maybe you shouldn't have been out in the woods on your own then, huh? Maybe you wouldn't have been freezing if you weren't out there on your own, but no, you decided to go and explore. I mean, to each their own, I suppose. Tell you what I'm also going to do. I'm also going to go ahead and bring some roads out around the chapel here. So out there, and then 1, 2, and there. So like that. And what I could do is put some stockpiles around there. I'm not really sure if I'm gonna do that, because that seems like it would be a little grim. This is actually ready to build. I could totally build this, we just don't have the people. And that's unfortunate that we don't have the people, but we just don't have the people. Maybe 2 fewer vendors and 1 builder just to see if we can get some progress. Because, I mean, the builder just has to build. There's no prep work. Just go in there and build the walls and do your thing, so. There we go. The chapel is under construction. We are going to need a cleric for that, which is going to be something that's going to be tricky to get. Because I guess we are just waiting on... Wait, is this... This is growing a lot quicker this year. I guess last year there must have been a bit of a delay on the potatoes. Which kind of has me thinking that, I mean, our food supplies aren't amazing right now. I'm wondering if the reason they're as low as they are is because the harvest of potatoes last year wasn't as good. That would make sense. That would definitely make sense. I guess we'll have to keep a little eye here. I mean, 56% yield and it's early summer. That's not a bad start. That is definitely not a bad start. So we'll see how that ends up going. Stockpile wise, a lot of wood over here, a bit of iron. Actually, just a lot of iron lying around. I realize stone is going to be our weak spot for a while. Although we are gathering some from down here, and we do have some just over this way, so we're doing all right on that front, I suppose. Just a case of time, really. Just gotta wait on everyone doing their thing. Because, I mean, right now, the farmers aren't gonna be doing a whole lot other than farming, but when it comes to... Well, whenever they harvest, basically, is when they'll sort of become laborers, so... We'll keep an eye on that, see what happens. I am curious, though. This right here, amount of stored medicine, there's none. Now, medicine is, I guess, not made by the hospital, or is it only made in times of sickness, is kind of what I'm wondering. Orchards and pastures and fishing docks and hunting cabins and gatherers' huts. What is this? Herbalist. Ah, I totally forgot about the herbalist, didn't I? Now, the herbalist will gather herbs and provide simple health and healing for citizens. And it feels like a herbalist would be good to have out here. So I'm going to go ahead and say let's build that. And let's hope that we can actually do some good with that. Church is also very nearly done, which is fantastic. We'll get the cemetery shortly afterwards. We could probably get away with 1 more builder as well. So hopefully this all gets done a little bit quicker. But I did totally forget that the herbalist was actually a thing. Totally forgot about that. Now let's see, the harvest is going ahead. But the food stocks aren't going up anywhere near as quickly as I'd like. Unless a lot of the, well, actually in saying that's up to 8,000 again. Unless a lot of the stored food's going here, which... I mean, a fair bit of it is, but not really as much as we'd like, I would imagine. I guess we have a lot more people than we did before. We might need to refocus here. There's definitely a chance we might need to refocus. Maybe fishing is something to look into for down here, another fishing dock. I mean, it's doable. Another fishing dock right here is totally doable. So I think we might want to go ahead and do another fishing dock, and I think I will do another fishing dock right there. Just to get that done. We could probably get away with one over here as well. Which I kind of like the idea of. Needs a few resources, but it's totally achievable. So, I mean, right there is a good spot. So yeah, let's do a fishing dock right there as well. We'll get those built. Obviously, gonna need a lot of workers for them, but that'll come with time. Cemetery's done. We actually now need a cleric. This over here needs a lot of trees to be removed. But that's alright. This fishing dock is actually done already, which is amazing. This one up here, I imagine, is going to take no time at all. It's just a lot of stone, which we have. There we go. So that's going to be built. All right. So that's progress. We are down to... Oh, the physician died. All right, let's go down to one builder then, just to make sure that we don't get too out of our depth here. I always want to make sure we have enough laborers to last. Otherwise, what ends up happening is people start dying and jobs don't get filled up, so... Always got to make sure that you're ready to keep those jobs going. Always got to make sure of that. And now let's see, is this even being worked on right now? I feel like it isn't. I feel like it's not really being touched. What if we increase the priority of it? What if we were to say that this is like super high priority and needs to be done immediately so that we can get some healing going? Norman is a laborer. Fantastic. Can we maybe go up to 2 builders again? See what we can do there? Because, I mean, this is ready to be built. We just need a bit of construction going. And really, you come over and, like, hammered 1 nail in? All right, what are you going to do? Another nail. Good. There we go. A bit of consistent building. That's what I want to see. I want to see this thing get built. That way we can slowly work in getting up to a total of, what, 16 fishermen? There we go. All right. That'll work. We should now have, like, 2 fishermen at each of the piers. Now, the food supplies and food stocks are still a bit rough there. Tell you what, let's go ahead and get a cleric, since we can at this point. This thing over here is actually coming along. We just got a couple more laborers as well, which is good news. We only need 2 builders though, so we'll leave them to do their thing. And in the meantime, I guess, gather those resources and gather those resources as well for a bit of extra wood. In terms of stone, I think we could probably get away with saying gather all of that. And probably get away with saying gather all of that iron as well. So that'll keep them busy. We've got 6 students and 8 children right now. That's not bad. I don't think we have any empty houses either, so... Probably going to want to look into getting some of those as soon as possible, but not going to rush it. We need to make sure this food situation's under control. Let's see, is this thing... Oh, that thing's actually getting ready to be built. Okay. Alright, well, I'll tell you what we can do here. We have a couple of laborers. Let's say 2 more fishermen. That way we can hopefully keep that food rolling in, because the food stores are... They're definitely dwindling. They're definitely getting a bit rough. So I think maybe another farm. And I think we fill up the fishing huts. And I think we hope for the best, really. I think that's kind of where we're at. Let's see. Can we get houses over here? We totally can. We totally can get houses here. So, I mean, maybe that's the thing we want to do? Unless there's like a service building of sorts we can put here, or a little mini cemetery? No? What else can we do? We can do a well, but I mean, I don't think we're going to have any fires. I'm pretty sure fires, I'm pretty sure I've turned those off. Hunting cabin, too big. Gatherer's hut, obviously way too big. At this point, I'm just trying to work out what we could put in there. And I think really it might just have to be a house. So, let's do a house, I guess. We'll do this one. You know, right next to the creepy old graveyard. Right there, and a little road just leading down past the graveyard, so it looks like you can actually get in there. Alright, so that'll keep the builders busy. We actually do have room for herbalists over here, so where is herbalist in the bottom left? You can actually get 2 of them, alright. We'll get 2 of those. So they'll start gathering medicine, which is kind of what we want them doing. Hopefully that'll work out well for them. We did have someone freezing there for a second, but they seem to be okay now. Which is alright. This thing is... Oh, this will be built in no time. This will absolutely be built in no time. Just gotta get a bunch of stone over here. There we go, 5. Like 3 more bits of stone and that'll get constructed, which will be good, because that means that's, there we go. That means we'll have another little family getting ready to come in here. I actually think over here could probably be houses as well. Like I said, I just want to put things around the river. That's kind of my goal. Put things around the river, make it look like we're building a proper little town here. And a whole lot of just hope for the best as well. There's a lot of that going on. Definitely a lot of hoping for the best. Because right now I'm just nervous. Really nervous about the food. That's definitely where I'm at. The food is a bit of a sore spot. So I think... I mean, we don't need the builders anymore, so what if we took 2 builders off and said 2 more fishermen? Is that gonna be worth doing? Because I feel like at this point, 2 more fishermen, I mean, yeah, now the cleric's dead, that's not good. I feel like 2 more fishermen gets us up to 3 fishermen per dock. So... I mean, surely that's gotta be good. Oh, that's bad. A farmer's dead. Alright. Let's take 2 fishermen off then. What is happening to my sound? Hello? Okay. Okay. That was weird. I don't know if that picked up in the video, but the sound went really weird. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll move on from that. Tell you what I will do, since we don't actually have any builders, I will go ahead and say that we can start figuring out what kind of houses are going to go over here. And by what kind, I mean it's obviously going to be these big tall ones. So we can't actually put one there, but we can go there. And we get a little road between them, which is nice. So let's do this sort of thing, if I can get away with it. Which I think I totally can. There we go. So we'll do that. We'll go road here, and there. Alright, that kind of works. One of the herbalists wound up dying there as well. We've just had a lot of children born. The cleric died during childbirth. Great. That's, well, no, that's horrible, but... this game is, yeah. This game... I gotta be careful with my reactions to things, don't I? Gotta be very careful with how I react to certain things. Yeesh. Alright. Reserve of firewood's low, really? Alright, I mean, there's a lot of it there. The gatherer's dead. Okay, okay. I'm starting to think that a school might be something we just don't need. I know I mentioned previously that, you know, the point of the school is to educate people so that they're better, I suppose. But I feel like we just need a lot of workers. You know, I get the feeling we just need a lot of workers. We don't need them going to school. They don't need none of that book learning. They don't need no book learning. They can learn on the job what they can do. I don't know. I just don't know if that's something we should dabble in. Because I'm also noticing, like I said, food is a whole situation right now. So we might want to be careful. No labor available to replace the hunter that died. That's really, really bad. Because that's the, that'll be the beginning of it. That right there is going to be the beginning of the, of people dying and not getting replaced. Which is really all sorts of bad. That is all sorts of bad, so... hopefully we can work that out. I mean, again, we have 7 students. We have 7 students in there. It'd be really nice if I could see... I mean... I can't click anywhere to see the number of, see the students specifically. It'd be nice if I could, because then what I could do is be like, what age do they become a student? Or sorry, what age do they become an adult after being a student? You know, that kind of thing. That way I can see, okay, they become a laborer at age... I think they become a laborer at age 10, to be honest with you. As for adults after students, I mean, could be 18, for all we know. Could be 16. So there's definitely some working out to be done there. Also, in other news, a lot of these houses are ready to be built. So there's that. There is definitely that. It also looks like we had a relatively decent harvest. Can't really complain there. I mean, the food supplies are nowhere near where I want them to be. Oh, Patrice the fisherman's dead. That's not good. That is very not good. Because we've lost a hunter and we've lost a fisherman, so food supplies taking another hit there. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take two of these vendors out. We're gonna say, there's a hunter, there's another fisherman. Let's try and keep the production up there, otherwise we are seriously in trouble. We are in serious trouble if we don't do that. And I think as well, if we don't start getting a lot of... If we don't start getting a lot of adults out of here, I'm gonna have to close the school. I hate to say it, but we've now got 9 students in there. I mean, we might get rewarded. A lot of them might come out and be laborers right away, but now 10 students, you know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, unless we get a lot of laborers, and unless they are the best darn laborers you've ever seen. It's gonna be rough, is what it's gonna be. Who are you? You are a hunter and you're cold, fair enough. You're also 62, 63. Alright. Happy birthday, I suppose. That's great. Do they age per, like, change of season? Per change of part of season? So you're 63 going into late winter. When it goes to early spring, do you become 64? I kind of need to see this. Hold on. Can I just follow you? I can't actually do it this way, can I? Alright. So we'll find out this way. We'll just keep an eye from here. So early spring. No, you're 63. Alright. I wonder if it's just mid-spring then. Because I think they do age per season. It's not per year. Because obviously we're only in year 14. But the problem with that, I mean, there's mods that can counter that. There's mods that say they age only once per year in-game. And that's great, because you have people who are with you for a super long time. But at the same time, it means that children are children for 10 years. Also, yeah, you're 64, so yeah, it is once per season, alright. But yeah, it means that children are children for 10 years before going, you know, becoming a laborer or doing whatever they do. So there's pros and cons to that particular mod that increases the lifespan. It doesn't necessarily increase the lifespan, you still live to the same age, but it increases the length of time considered a year for a person. There's pros and cons, basically, and I kind of like playing this game without mods anyway. Because I've tried Colonial Charter, and oh boy, I'm bad at Colonial Charter, so we're not gonna go there. Also, just thinking, late spring leads into summer, obviously. But what I'm thinking I might do is... Oh, they're already gathering resources. Fair enough. I guess the farmers will head out and grab some of that stuff when they get a chance. I think I might... Actually, no, that's a terrible idea. I was going to say we could put some houses along here, but that's not a good idea. Because that would mean that we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 houses with new families, and we're already having issues with food. Yeah. that'll be a pretty serious influx of kids and thus mouths to feed, which we're already having issues with, so we'll not bother with that. I will do that, though, just to make that look nice. We have got a laborer, which is fantastic. Let me go ahead and set you as a builder, just because. Of course, a forester's dead now. Alright, well, that's great. We'll keep the builder. We'll get the houses built in time. We have got another laborer. It's Herberto. I'll tell you what. I'm just going to let these guys graduate, is what I'm going to do. Just going to let them graduate. Just going to let them become laborers. Let them replace whoever needs replaced. Let them move into their homes. Let them do whatever they need to do. In saying that, one more builder, please. Just because there are 9 houses that need built, and it's just going to take so long with one builder. But we'll get those done. Every new laborer is just going to stay as a laborer. When we have a whole bunch of them, we can then go, you know, let's figure out what jobs you're going to do. And I realize as well, I mean, the school can have a maximum, I think, of about 20 students. So eventually, assuming we survive and assuming all goes to plan, we're not really gonna have to worry too much about the school taking every child. Because eventually what's gonna happen is, well, you know, we're gonna be in a situation where there's not enough room in the school. So we'll see how that goes. Sewart and Imalaseta live in there. Otti live in there, the cleric. Alejandrea, the laborer, live in there. Who's in here? No one, apparently. Fair enough. Fair enough. Garrel replaced Giovanni as a gatherer. Fair enough. I realize I keep saying fair enough. Who's in here? Otti, Ethanael and Patrice. Fair enough. I keep saying it. I keep saying it. I need to not. It's going to become the new it is what it is. Or the new in all honesty. Or the new what else do I always say? What else do I always say? People keep pointing these things out in comments. It's like, "Oh, do you know you said this like 50 times in this video?" Yeah, I do. I hear it in editing. It's a nightmare. Because then I get the terrible idea of putting it on a t-shirt, and I'm like, that's the most generic t-shirt you're ever gonna see. Just a t-shirt with "it is what it is." Pretty sure I do sell that as a t-shirt as well. I think that's up in the store. Which I don't even know if the store's linked in the description of these videos. I don't even know. I should probably know that. I really should know that, actually. Anyway, we'll not worry too much about it. We have got a bunch of people living out in these houses. I'm pretty sure everyone's still living in these houses as well, so... I mean, progress is progress. And we've got progress, so that's nice. Up this way, we have 2 more houses. Anyone living here? I'd be surprised if the blacksmith doesn't move into one of those. Herbalist and child. Forester. Well, that makes sense as well, I suppose. Might not be a bad idea to get a couple more houses opposite those. Might not be a bad idea at all. Also, now that that house is done, there we go. 2 more laborers. So we'll get that done as well. Who's going to be living in house number 3 right here? Anybody at all? Again, I'm assuming someone that works close by. The gatherer, who is 74 years old. Well, all right then. That's a grand old age in Banished. Wait, are you? They are actually freezing. Why are they actually freezing? Woodcutter, hello? Okay, that's bad news. I guess a lot of our logs are over here. Okay, we need another woodcutter, I think. I do think that's going to be a good idea. I think a woodcutter down here, perhaps? sort of there, or I don't know. I think right there in the corner, or over here, or something. I kind of want it to be right by the stockpile, though. So maybe right there for a new woodcutter, and maybe we surround it with some stockpiles. So like that. And I mean, maybe a forester right there as well could be an idea. But we'll get that built, or we'll get the resources there for it at least. And hopefully that'll be enough to stop people from freezing, which they are definitely currently doing. I realize, and now that I think about it, it makes sense. We have a lot of houses. We have more houses than we had before. So it makes sense that they're going to start freezing. It's just going to really suck when they start dying of the cold. That's when the problem's going to come in. Yeah, you're dead of old age. That's another fisherman gone. All right, tell you what. Let's go ahead and start gathering resources from around here again. We'll just gather all of those. That'll be a bunch more wood. Should be decent to have. A couple more students. We've got another laborer there as well. I'm just going to leave them as laborers this time. I'm going to hold out, leave them as laborers. Let them replace people. We've got 9 students. We had a lot of people becoming students at the same time, so in a couple of years' time, we should have like 5 new laborers at the same time. So we'll be all right. We're gonna be all right. It's just, we're going through some tough times right now. And also, these guys are going through some seriously tough times because they are freezing to death. But those are a different type of tough times to what I'm going through. They are freezing to death. I am having difficulty in a video game. Very, very different. Very, very different.